What if I told you? The two K-pop stars we're talking about today are no longer here, but their impact on the LGBTQ+ community is as strong as ever. Today we're taking a look at 10 male K-pop stars beloved by queer fans around the world. And trust me, number 3 will blow your mind. Stay tuned until the end. You might be surprised to see who made the list. And hey, which one of these stars is your favorite? Leave your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button, and let's keep the conversation going. Have you ever watched an artist perform and felt like they were speaking directly to your soul without saying a word? For many fans around the world, especially in the LGBT community, SHINee's Taemin is that kind of artist. Since his debut with SHINee in 2008, he's been more than just a singer or a dancer. He's a storyteller, a mood maker, and a steadfast symbol of artistic freedom. From his smooth, haunting choreography in Move, to his bold fashion choices that blur the lines between masculinity and femininity, Taemin has always created a space where self-expression knows no boundaries. And that's exactly why so many LGBT fans are drawn to him, because in his world, there's no wrong way to be yourself. What about you? Do you remember Taemin's first performance that left you speechless? Leave a comment, because I know for some of you, it was the moment he took the stage and completely redefined what K-pop looked like. In 2017, Taemin released the single and performed a purposefully fluid choreography, combining sharp, traditionally masculine moves with soft, flowing movements that are often labeled feminine in K-pop. He's even shared in interviews that he wanted the dance to feel genderless so that anyone could see themselves in it. For the LGBT community, this is huge. It's not about checking or making a statement to promote. It's about creating art that allows people to simply exist in it without judgment. He wears loose, flowing shirts, sheer fabrics, and a genderless style that makes people stop and wonder, wait, why does watching this feel so liberating? And importantly, it's not just a performance. His solo albums like Never Gonna Dance Again and Advice continue this theme. His music videos tell powerful, almost cinematic stories, with visuals that allow you to interpret them however they speak to you. It's like Taemin is saying, your identity is yours, your story is valid, and I see you. If you've ever felt that kind of connection with an artist, where their music almost becomes a mirror of your own journey, how has it changed the way you see yourself? I'd love to hear your story, because that's what makes this community so powerful. Now, we can't talk about Taemin without talking about his fashion. Over the years, he stepped onto red carpets and stages in silk blouses, oversized jackets, lace, mesh, bold prints, and even couture-inspired looks. He's collaborated with stylists who aren't afraid to experiment, and he wears these looks with a confidence that says, "This is me." For LGBT fans, seeing such a confident, fearless style from a K-pop idol is truly inspiring. It's proof that style isn't just about following the rules, it's about creating your own. What this tells young fans is that you can mix and match and break fashion rules in any way you want, and still be seen as strong, beautiful, and respected. Honestly, if there's one thing we've learned from him, it's that the more personal your art is, the more impactful it is. And that's why Taemin is more than just a K-pop star. He's a symbol of freedom, art, and connection. For the LGBT community, he's not just someone to look up to, but someone who has helped open doors, on stage, in music, and in the hearts of fans around the world. Kim Taehyung, known to millions around the world as V of BTS. His warm, soulful voice ripples through the auditorium like a velvet ribbon. His gaze, steady, soulful, seems to speak directly to you, even if you're standing at the back of the stadium. Over the years, V has become a global pop icon. For many in the LGBTQ+ community, he's a symbol of authenticity, artistic freedom, and fearless self-expression. And the important thing is, it's not that he hasn't been open about his or gender identity. It's how he lives his art, how he crafts his image, and how he makes people feel seen. What is it about V's art, his music, his style, that makes such a profound impact? And more importantly, how does he create a space where so many fans, from all walks of life, feel like they belong? When you watch V perform, you notice something almost immediately. the way he subtly blends masculinity and tenderness. For BTS's singularity, he takes the stage in a silk shirt, the light bathing him in a deep blue. His choreography? Smooth, almost balletic, but anchored by power. The performance received critical acclaim from critics around the world, not only for its haunting jazz R&B style, but also for the way it challenges rigid gender norms in pop music. Fashion? V sees fashion as a living canvas. Whether it's an oversized Celine coat at Paris Fashion Week or a delicate floral print at a BTS fan meet, he uses his clothes as an extension of his story. Vogue Korea once described his style as timeless yet unpredictable, the perfect combination for someone who doesn't like to be pigeonholed. And his music? Tracks like Sweet Night and Winter Bear have an intimacy that transcends boundaries. They're more than just songs, they're safe spaces. Warm rooms you can retreat to when the outside world gets cold. Many LGBTQ+ fans have shared online how his art has helped them feel understood without a word about labels. What do you think? Is it his way of breaking visual norms? Is his voice comforting? Or maybe both, together creating something unforgettable? Scroll through any fan forum, Twitter thread, or Instagram fan page, and you'll see it. A vibrant LGBTQ+ ARMY community connected by their shared love of V. They post fan art of his singularity mask, discuss his latest magazine shoots, and share how his bold personality inspired them to pursue their own paths. It's magical. It's not about declaring who you are to the world. It's about expressing yourself fully and freely, just like V did. It's about knowing that somewhere out there, an artist is walking that path with you. Every stage, every song, every bold outfit. And that's where you come in. Tell me in the comments, what moment did you identify with V? Was it a lyric, a performance, a fashion choice, or was it simply the way he looked into the camera that made you feel appreciated? Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about the superstar. It's about the people he inspires, about us, and the safe, fun, and open space we create together. And that's something to be appreciated. Imagine this. You're one of the biggest names in K-pop. Millions of fans. Your every word, every post is watched by the public, and one small action can change the way the world sees you. Forever. Most people would play it safe. Stay quiet. Avoid controversy. But in December 2013, SHINee's Jonghyun didn't stay quiet. He spoke up in the simplest, most powerful way possible. Today, we're looking back at that moment. We'll learn why it matters, how it resonated with the LGBTQ+ community, and why his courage is still remembered a decade later. And by the way, I want to hear from you. Has there ever been a public figure who made you feel truly seen, even without saying his name? Share that moment in the comments below. Let's make this a safe place for us to talk, connect, and celebrate together. It all started with a photo. Jonghyun changed his Twitter profile picture. No fancy graphics, no self-promotion. Just a photo of a handwritten sign from a college student in South Korea. She had come out as bisexual, and her message was straightforward. Different doesn't mean wrong. In South Korea, public conversations about LGBTQ+ rights were limited and still are, and sometimes even met with resistance. For a top idol to come out was unprecedented. Jonghyun didn't stop there. He reached out to the student privately, thanking her for her courage. He told her to stay strong, to keep speaking up. These weren't empty gestures. They were sincere, intentional, and from the heart. And the thing is, Jonghyun had never publicly outed himself as part of the LGBTQ+ community. But by amplifying her voice, he used his own platform to defend and validate the truths of others. Think about it for a moment. Would you risk your career to stand up for yourself? What would you do if millions of eyes were on you? The reaction was immediate. For many LGBTQ+ fans, it was the first time they had seen a K-pop idol of Jonghyun's stature publicly acknowledge their existence in a supportive way. Messages flooded social media, not just from Korea but from fans around the world. They said they felt seen, heard, respected. While writing and hosting the radio show Blue Night, Jonghyun consistently used inclusive language, avoiding gender-specific terms when referring to characters or loved ones. This approach made listeners, especially those in the queer community, feel respected and welcomed. He once stated that love should not be limited by gender or bound by social norms. a rare and courageous stance in the K-pop industry at the time, providing both inspiration and comfort to many fans. His passing in 2017 was a devastating loss, but the lasting impact of that small but meaningful act, the profile picture, the quiet message, lives on. Fans still share the photo, recalling how the moment brought them comfort and strength. Not for the attention, not for the fame, just for that simple act of kindness. And perhaps that's why, even today, when you think of sympathetic voices in K-pop, Jonghyun's name is often one of the first to come to mind. And if you believe that love, acceptance, and respect should be a part of every fandom, share this story and help Jonghyun's message live on. Because here, every voice matters, and every story deserves to be heard. If you've ever seen Mingyu take the stage, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say, this guy owns the room. His presence isn't just about his height, his looks, or that bright smile. It's also about the way he carries himself. From 17's debut days to his sold-out world tours, Mingyu has always brought a blend of confidence and warmth that's hard to ignore. And it's not just Korean fans who have noticed. Globally, the LGBT community has embraced him as a true style icon and inspiration. Have you ever seen Mingyu interact with fans? No matter who he's in front of, he radiates that kindness, that energy. It's powerful. It's rare. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you picture Mingyu? Is it his deep voice, his perfectly tailored stage outfits, or perhaps his soft chuckle when he's a little embarrassed? This is where things get really interesting. Mingyu doesn't just wear clothes, he speaks through them. Over the years, he's experimented with everything from tailored suits to bold streetwear and even soft, genderless silhouettes. These aren't random choices. They send a message. Style is about self-expression, not a set of rules. During his Ataka days, Mingyu's style combined masculine structure with subtle details. Lace-detailed shirts paired with blazers, jewelry that caught the spotlight, and a color palette that pushed the boundaries of safe for male idols. International LGBT fans, especially those in the fashion and design industry, see this as a celebration of individuality. It's not about pushing boundaries to shock. It's about showing that beauty and confidence come from embracing all aspects of yourself. But here's the crux of the story. Mingyu's influence extends beyond his physical appearance. In interviews and behind-the-scenes clips, he's always been open about supporting his members, encouraging them when they're struggling, and making sure everyone feels included. That energy resonates deeply with LGBT fans because it creates safe spaces both in music and in life. At fan meets, he's seen interacting with fans of all genders with equal enthusiasm, complimenting their outfits, encouraging their creativity, and even recalling small details from previous encounters. Those moments build trust. They say, "You belong here." For many young LGBT fans, Mingyu's example is a reminder. You can be yourself without apology and still be respected, admired, and loved. He shows that success isn't about fitting into a mold. It's about owning your own story and wearing it like your favorite jacket. So I'm curious, how has Mingyu inspired you? Is it through his music, his fashion, or just the way he makes you feel seen? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to make this a conversation, not just a video. Picture this. You're standing in a quiet gallery. White walls, soft lighting, and there right in the middle are breathing sketches. The lines aren't perfect, but that's the point. They're real. This is RM's world. RM, the leader of BTS, has always been more than a voice in a microphone. He's a poet, a painter, a storyteller whose medium is both music and visual art. In the Love Yourself exhibition, his own drawings are on display. Little pieces of his heart made public. They're not polished to impress. They're candid moments, inviting us to see the world through his eyes. And that's why so many in the LGBT community relate to him. Not because he says what we need to feel, but because he feels we're there. Art celebrates imperfection and tells us that you are you. RM's style is like his music, layered, unexpected, and completely personal. One day, it's a soft beige cardigan over silk. The next, a sharp, structured jacket paired with sneakers. At the 2023 Grammys, he walked the red carpet in a pastel suit that was both subdued and commanding. a silhouette that didn't flaunt masculinity, but still exuded individuality. For many LGBT fans, fashion is more than just clothes. It's a canvas of possibilities. Every choice whispers, you can make your own rules. His style speaks a language where softness meets strength, challenging every frame society tries to impose on him. It's a silent transformation, no slogans, no speeches, just the art of living. So ask yourself, what outfit makes you feel most like yourself? The moment when the mirror reflects not just your face, but your truth. Share in the comments and let's celebrate those reflections together. RM doesn't just lead on stage, he leads in the way he lives. He's talked about feeling lost, about overcoming self-doubt, about learning to love yourself, a message amplified by BTS's Love Myself campaign with United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. These aren't just slogans, they're conversations he's had with millions of people who felt left out. Time and time again, LGBT fans have shared that RM's words have allowed them to exist without apologies. Sincere messages, heartfelt letters. People say, when RM told us to speak up for ourselves, I finally did. It's not just music, it's influence, and perhaps that's the core of RM's important. He's not trying to be a hero, he's trying to be true to himself, and in that humanity, people find their own strength. This space is not just for viewing, it's for feeling connected. RM's journey through art, style, and authenticity is a reminder that we all have something worth sharing. If his story touches you, let's keep the conversation going. Let's put your thoughts out there, connect with others, and together, create a space that is open, joyful, and fearless for all of us. There's something magical about K-pop, an energy that transcends language, borders, and even identity. And in this vibrant world, a few shining stars have captured the hearts of fans from all walks of life, including the global LGBT community. One of those stars is Astro's Moonbin, an artist whose presence is about more than just music. It's about expression, connection, and the freedom to be yourself. Moonbin's story is about more than just fame. It's about how art can reach people in places words can't. Since his 2016 debut with Astro, he's been more than just a handsome idol. He's possessed a genuine warmth, the kind that makes fans feel seen. For many in the LGBT community, that acceptance, even from afar, means a lot. What makes Moonbin stand out isn't just his voice or his impeccable dance moves, it's how he carries himself in every performance. On stage, he blurs the line between traditional masculinity and a softer, more graceful aesthetic. Whether in music videos like Blue Flame or live stages for songs like Candy Sugar Pop, Moonbin's style often includes pastel tones, soft fabrics, and subtly sensual choreography, elements that many LGBT fans deeply relate to. His fashion choices are never loud statements, but they speak volumes. A silk shirt unbuttoned just enough, a gentle touch between him and his bandmates during a performance. These aren't staged to stir up controversy, they're part of his natural, artistic performance style. In the Korean entertainment industry, where strict gender norms often prevail, Moonbin's style feels refreshing, almost liberating. And beyond the spotlight, Moonbin's interactions with fans show his open nature. During fan meetings and interviews, he often listens attentively, smiles warmly, and responds in a way that makes each person feel appreciated. It's this empathy that makes LGBT fans, and really, fans of all identities, feel like they belong in his world. Do you remember a moment, stage, or even a photo of Moonbin that really stood out to you? Something that made you think this was more than just a performance? Share it in the comments, as your memories may inspire others watching. Moonbin's art proves that you don't need to make grand speeches to inspire change. Sometimes how you express yourself, how you make others feel, is the most powerful message. His presence has encouraged fans to explore themselves without fear. And in a world where LGBT youth often feel invisible, Moonbin's blend of strength and vulnerability is a quiet but powerful beacon of hope. Even now, his performances continue to resonate online, reaching new audiences who may not have known his name when he was here. And every time someone stumbles upon one of those videos and feels understood, Moonbin's story lives on. Because the truth is, some lights never go out. they continue to shine in the hearts of those they touch. If Moonbin's story touches you, please take a moment to share this video with those who need to hear it. Let's keep his art and his message alive. And speaking of breaking barriers, our next story takes us to another beloved K-pop figure, one known for his incredibly deep voice and subtle yet powerful emotional range. Let's talk about EXO's Dio. In a world where performances often feel rehearsed, Dio stands out as a quiet force of authenticity. His art lies not just in delivering impeccable vocals, it's in translating emotion into melodic language. Take his performance of the ballad Don't Go. His voice doesn't just sing sadness, it conveys a sense of loss, making it relatable. LGBT fans often hold on to those tunes because they're not just listening, they feel seen and understood. Beyond his music, Dio's performances, from the nuanced vulnerability of 100 Days My Prince to the heartbreaking undertones of Along with the Gods, have earned him praise as an actor who digs deep into the essence of his characters. These performances serve as a mirror for fans who crave complexity, whose identities often exist in gray areas, not black and white. At first glance, Dio's style may seem simple, but that simplicity is intentional and powerful. He tends to stick to neutrals, beige, cream, black, with subtle details, a cropped blazer with a classic silhouette, a monochrome sweater with a statement pin or brooch, a short fringe that changes the entire look. It's a style that's quietly compelling, not ostentatious or flashy, but one that whispers, "I choose this because it's me." For LGBT fans in particular, this kind of expression is deeply resonant. Style that doesn't need to be ostentatious to be self-affirming. It affirms that identity can be expressed through subtle personal touches. A watch, a ring, a scarf. These little touches carry meaning and enliven an image that might otherwise feel foreign. What really makes Dio being an inspiration is not a flashy statement of ideals, but a quiet, honest life. He doesn't stir up controversy. He shows up, owns his craft, and lets his art do the talking. In interviews, he reflects on the emotional weight of the stories he tells, whether through drama or music, and the responsibility he feels to honor that emotion with authenticity. For LGBT youth, who often struggle with visibility and acceptance, the relentless focus on creativity and authenticity is incredibly soothing and empowering. It says, "You don't have to express your identity the way I do. Be yourself, let your voice, your music, your art, your emotions speak your truth." Have you ever felt understood or inspired by Dio's example? Perhaps through his real-life interviews or in the way he balances fame and humility. Tell us about that moment. By combining Dio's charismatic artistry, his quietly assertive style, and his quiet but powerful integrity, we are led into a story that emphasizes authenticity over acting, depth over decoration, and creativity over stereotype. It is in that foundation of truth that LGBT fans not only love Dio, but feel embraced by him and inspired to stand up for themselves. For Soobin, music isn't just entertainment, it's a form of expression. A way to turn emotions too complex to articulate into something you can carry with you. As the leader of TXT, he's helped shape a sound that blends vulnerability and ambition. Songs like Blue Hour sparkle with dreamy pop, inviting escape, not into a fantasy world, but into a reality where you're free to be yourself. Songs like Crown are lyrical about self-discovery, written in a way that allows listeners to tell their own stories, whether they're about growing up, coming out, or simply finding a place to belong. In interviews, Soobin has shared that he values songs that have space for interpretation, for different identities to be reflected. This open storytelling is part of why LGBT fans feel so connected. His voice doesn't force you to understand any meaning. It gives you the melody and says, "Make it yours." And when he performs live, there's a noticeable shift in the space during certain songs. Close your eyes, raise your hands, and for a few minutes, thousands of people are breathing together. No divisions, no labels, just music. If music is Soobin's voice, then fashion is his second language. And it's a language that resonates powerfully with those in the LGBT community. On stage, he's bold in every line and texture. Pleated chiffon tops, jackets, statement leather belts paired with soft lace cuffs. Off stage, he's turned to soft, oversized knits, playful prints, and soft pastels. He doesn't just change his clothes, he changes his persona, showing that identity can be fluid without losing authenticity. This is why his fashion resonates so much with LGBT fans. In a world that often demands pick one, masculine or feminine, strong or soft, Soobin chooses both, and sometimes neither. He blends them into something uniquely his own. Fashion for him isn't a mask. It's a magnifying glass that magnifies his true self. The magic of Soobin lies in the way his music and fashion seamlessly blend together to tell a continuous story. A story of growth. As Tomorrow by Together performs songs about youth, change, and resilience, Soobin's visuals further highlight those themes. A bright, tailored suit for Blue Hour made the stage feel like an endless summer afternoon. A dark, layered ensemble in 0x1's Love Song turns the performance into an intimate confession. Every look, every note, every gesture is part of a larger story. Your identity is yours to write. For LGBT fans, this is more than just aesthetics. It's about unconventional expression, about unconventional affirmation. It's about seeing someone at the height of their career unafraid to wear softness as strength or vulnerability as art. It's about hearing a song about transformation and realizing in that moment that you're not broken because you want to change. How about you? When do you feel most free? Is it when you speak your truth? When you choose an outfit that feels true to who you are? Or when you're with someone who makes you feel completely at ease? Share your story in the comments. Fill this space with inspiring voices, colors, and moments, because your truth might just give someone else the courage to be their truest self. The stadium fell silent for a heartbeat. Then the music started. Out of the darkness he appeared, BamBam. Every step carefully considered, every movement filled with confidence. His jacket glinted under the spotlights, his smile bright enough to cut through the cheers of thousands. It wasn't just a performance, it was a statement. For some in the crowd, it was simply entertainment. But for the countless LGBT fans watching, both in that stadium and on brightly lit screens halfway around the world, it was a moment of recognition. This was someone who didn't just fit the stereotype of a K-pop idol. He rewrote it. A young man from Bangkok, standing proudly in one of the world's most image-conscious industries, shattering gender stereotypes as easily. The way he dresses, sometimes sharp, sometimes lithe. The way he moves, sometimes powerful, sometimes graceful. The way he smiles, as if he knows who he is and doesn't care if the world accepts it or not. Every detail whispers the same message. You don't have to choose between parts of yourself. You can be all of them. BamBam has never needed a speech to change his life. His social activism isn't loud, it's in the everyday choices that radiate outward. A bold magazine cover with glittery eyeliner like armor. A casual comment in an interview, wear what makes you feel like you. A social media post telling fans to live for themselves, not for anyone else's expectations. These moments are more important than they seem. They inspire real people to take real steps. A fan in Manila finally wore a dress to a family gathering because BamBam showed her that beauty knows no gender. A young man in New York who was afraid to come out saw BamBam being comfortable with himself and decided to take that first step with his best friend. In Thailand, a fan wrote that BamBam's confident, fearless energy gave him the courage to try out for a dance crew, something he had dreamed of, but never dared to do. His influence doesn't come from telling people what to do. It comes from showing them what's possible. And that's why the LGBT community loves him. Because every time he steps out, he's living proof that authenticity can survive and thrive in the spotlight. This isn't just a video about a celebrity. It's about us. About how one person's courage can plant seeds in thousands of hearts. And about how those seeds sprout into stories. Your own stories. How did he help you step into your own light? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's build a space where no one feels the need to hide, where every voice is valued and heard. BamBam's impact is not just in his music, it's in the way he inspires people to write their own stories, in their own words, and live them out without fear. And who knows, maybe your story will be the one that gives someone else the courage to start their own. When you first see Wonho, you might think you know his story. a K-pop idol, a perfect body, a captivating smile. But look closer and you'll see something more. A man quietly rewriting the rules of what a male celebrity should look like and how he should live. In K-pop, where every image is meticulously crafted and every concept tightly scripted, Wonho stands out. He wears crop tops, sheer fabrics, and bold cuts that feel as natural as a tailored suit. His gaze is both vulnerable and powerful. For the LGBT community, he is more than just an idol. He is a symbol of freedom. A living reminder that the lines between masculinity and femininity, between expectation and reality, can be blurred and still beautiful. For him, clothes are more than clothes. They are a statement. Style knows no gender, and everyone has the right to own their image, their body, and their identity, without fear. For queer fans, it's not just about how he dresses, it's about how he connects. In interviews, fan meetings, and live streams, he treats everyone with the same warmth and respect. Whether the message comes from a young woman, a man, or someone who falls outside the gender binary. When male fans tell him they find him attractive, he doesn't duck, laugh, or change the subject. He smiles, he thanks them, and in that small, sincere moment, he makes them feel seen. This openness is rare in an industry where idols are often asked to stay within safe boundaries to protect their image. But Wonho's comfort with queer admiration speaks to a larger story, that every fan matters, and that love, in all its forms, deserves respect. And then there's his vocal support for body positivity. Yes, he's known for his toned physique, but he doesn't use it to promote a single standard of beauty. Instead, he shares the discipline, struggles, and mindset behind it, encouraging fans to love their bodies, no matter what shape they're in. For someone in an industry known for its strict standards of beauty, this message is a breath of fresh air. Wonho's story is more than just a celebrity's journey. It's a mirror for anyone who's ever felt constrained by expectations. His bold style, his open connection with his fans, and his refusal to limit himself send a powerful message. You can be who you are and still be loved for it. For young LGBT fans in particular, that's important. In a world where acceptance isn't always guaranteed, seeing a celebrity like Wonho embrace their individuality can be life-changing. It says, you're not alone, your truth matters, and you deserve to be celebrated, not hidden. That's why his fan base is so diverse. Because his message goes beyond music. It's about self-expression. It's about empathy. It's about having the courage to stand in your own light, even when the world wants to drag you into the darkness. When was the last time you did something where you felt completely yourself, without any regrets? Maybe it was the way you dressed. Maybe it was the way you spoke your truth. Or maybe it was the moment you stood up for someone who needed it most. How did that make you feel? Share your story in the comments so we can build a space where every voice is heard, every truth is celebrated, and every story has a home. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. We have so many more inspiring and meaningful stories waiting for you on our channel. We really appreciate every comment, every feedback, especially from the most thoughtful and honest viewers. So let's keep the conversation going, and see you in the next video.